Dating is very challenging for people these days. I get asked a lot, how do you know he's the one? How are you supposed to figure out? There's a lot of Torah wisdom on the subject, and I think some of the important points would be, first of all, it's very important to figure out what you're looking for. Many people go out there on this kind of endless search, and they'll say, I can't find somebody, and I'll say to them, well, you know, what are you looking for? And they'll be like, so you have to, first of all, figure out your job description. Who are you, and what are you looking for? And it should not be 150 points long. You want it to be something that is manageable, several points. But first of all, you have to figure out who you are, what are you bringing to the table, and then think about what are you looking for. Now that's not just he should be tall, dark, and handsome, or she should be gorgeous. It should really include things like, you know, what kind of personality you're looking for, what kind of, you know, person are you looking for? Do you want someone who's going to be growing and going in a certain direction? What are your goals? I think that's the one that people tend to ignore the most. So once you have that job description, then you can, when you go to the interview, your dates, you have a framework in order to try and sort of measure people against. This doesn't mean that dating can't be fun and romantic, but the Torah idea in dating is to try and be as objective as possible, which sounds kind of weird. What do you mean? This is love. It's subjective. But really, you want to make sure that your head is engaged before your heart takes a leap. The Jewish idea is that we stand on love before we fall into it, right? It's not this headlong thing that, you know, just happens to you, although the emotions can, but you really want to make sure that you're making objective decisions that are based on not just how you're feeling with this person this minute, but really what's going to be in 15 years from now. Generally speaking, many people make their decisions and their choices based on intuition, and that's very important, but it's also very important to have objective criteria in which to measure the person against. What everybody needs to do is take a step back and sit down, really figure out what it is you're looking for, what it is that's important to you, what are your values, what are your goals, before you are in the big fray of dating. Because once you're on the field and playing the game, sometimes if you don't have the rule book that you're playing by for yourself, you can sometimes forget what the rules are, and you can kind of be drawn into a relationship that might not be so good for you. So really take the time to think about it, and then try and remain as objective as possible while you're dating. And I would also advise, it's very, very important to bring someone into the dating process, even if it's a good friend or a parent, if you have that kind of relationship, that can also help you remain objective. Meaning if you're having issues, if you're having problems, if you want them to meet that person, it's always good to have a third party involved to try and make sure that you're staying on target with what's important to you.